on the second question. I am the one that drafted the content of that bill. And one of the provisions on that bill provides that for the Office of National Commandant, that the board, under the leadership of the minister, where the ministry where the organization is domiciled, will be the one to nominate and recommend to Mr. President who to head the organization. So I'm ever mindful of that reality. And for the mere fact that after nursing an organization that I suffered so much pain, injury, and I took the bill to Mr. President, to the National Assembly, for National Assembly to legislate on it, and for the National Assembly, after legislation transmitted to the President, and after assent by Mr. President now in his wisdom can pick anybody. That is the highest sacrifice anybody can make. I have, a courtesy of Peace Corps, I have traveled widely across the world. I have a relationship with the United Nations African Union, courtesy of the same Peace Corps. If I'm selfish, I will by no means ask National Assembly to legislate on that bill. So taking the bill to National Assembly, I have surrendered my sovereignty over the Peace Corps and wanting the federal government to decide whosoever will leave. The federal will say, I'm the one, good and fine. But if in the wisdom Mr. President another person is speak, as long as the history will always reckon with my personality, I'm okay with that.
End of discussion.
You also raise the issue of National Unity Corps. The Senate, they should act in line with the title distinguished. The misconception going on now, during the 8th National Assembly, the Senate actually harmonized, consolidated the two bills for the Senate. Are you me?
Yeah.
Brought the two bills, but they adopted holistically the version of Peace Corps, of Nigerian Peace Corps, which is my bill. They never lifted one word. I have it here. One word from Unity and Peace Corps, as it was called then. Now, we should be very careful that what somebody cannot get through the door, the person is attempting to get it through the window, not even the back door. Why am I saying this? You know very well, better than I do, that we are running a National Assembly that comprises of 2 chambers. And the law provides that any bill passed by each of these chambers must be concurred by the 2nd chamber. At the level of the House of Representatives, it was only Nigerian Peace Corps that was bill. They refused that they will not entertain any bill that is similar to ours. But when the 2 chambers sent up a joint committee to harmonize the bill, the House of Reps stood this ground that they never entertained any bill called National Unity and Peace Corps. And that is why the harmonized bill that went to Mr. President gave effect that Part 8 of the bill provided that from the day Mr. President assented to the bill, that the existing Peace Corps of Nigeria stands dissolved. That is to say that it is the Peace Corps of Nigeria that owns the bill. So I don't know how the miracle that happened that it was the same bill, my own bill that was passed, that the same organization that was removed and rejected, brought before the distinguished Senate for it to be legislated upon. They are trying to set a dangerous precedent that in future, any organization can pick any association bill and return it and start claiming the ownership.
Hello, sir. I am Henry Mora.
An act to establish the Nigerian Peace Corps, which is intended to give statutory backing to the existing Peace Corps of Nigeria, which happened to be my organization. You may wish to recall that this bill was passed by the 2 chambers of the National Assembly. First, the House of Reps passed the bill, the Senate thereafter followed suit. That is in the 8th Assembly. The bill was consolidated, harmonized, and transmitted to Mr. President, but for one reason or the other, Mr. President declined assent on the bill. The principal reason why Mr. President declined assent on the bill is the paucity of funds, because Nigeria was passing through recession. In January, February 2017, when the bill was transmitted to him. So, by the special grace of God, the bill was reintroduced again to the 9th Assembly. While that of the House of Reps was not committed to public hearing because it is a returning bill, The Senate, in its wisdom, invited us today for a public hearing to be conducted on the bill. And I believe you are part of the public hearing and you monitor the proceeding. So we are waiting the outcome or the report of the committee charged with the responsibility of conducting public hearing, which is the Committee on Interior.
Thank you. Before I put the question, proper homework has been done so that there will be spectacular, distinct function that cannot be linked to anyone already being carried out by existing outfit.
Well, what I will have to say with regards to duplication of functions cited by Mr. President, if you listen to one of the submissions during the public hearing, in the former bill there was provision for executive ordering. The former Inspector General of Police raised reservation about that provision that Peace Corps will be engaged in executive ordering, and they felt that it is what the police are doing. During the lead debate by the sponsor of the bill, distinguished Senator Undume, he made it known to his colleagues in the plenary that the aspects that was considered, that were considered to be a duplication of rules, has already been extracted from this bill. And as far as I'm concerned, there is no agency of government as is currently constituted that is committed to developing, empowering, and providing gainful employment to the youth, to facilitate peace, volunteerism, neighborhood watch, community services, and nation building. Except we want to be economical with the truth, there's no agency whatsoever, because if you are talking about the duplication of offices, when the bill was first passed, there was no provision that whereby Peace Corps was to detain, investigate, prosecute criminals. Ours, what we call neighborhood watch, we derive the concept from what we witnessed in Brazil. A situation whereby you have well-trained youth, intelligent youth, stationed in every street, nook and crannies of the society, for them to report for sound information on matters that may likely lead to breach of peace and security. And we believe if the security agencies are genuinely there to do the needful, they should see that the complementary role that the Peace Corps is coming to play will definitely relieve them of the burden that is hanging on their neck. To let you know, for us to come back, we must have done our homework. We must have done our research. We must have known what happened, what transpired then. It may not in reality connected, because if you are in the two public hearings in the 8th Assembly, it was exactly what the security agencies raised that Mr. President raised. There's no difference. That to say there was somebody that misrepresented the true intention of the organization before Mr. President. We don't have access to Mr. President to discuss with him or to let him know what we are out to do. Then we cannot blame him, but our blame goes to the former Inspector General of Police that you are aware, swore in his office, that civil defense came on board, they gave them time, they are now any more salary, they know that he will never allow Peace Corps to see the light of the day. That was before the Peace Corps bill was transmitted to Mr. President. He is in charge of internal security, and you know, definitely he will have the listening ear of Mr. President. On the part of money, it will be mischief. Your Peace Corps is not just something that you are trying to bomb from the blue. We have our offices across the states of the Federation. Even some of the existing government establishments cannot boast of such structures and offices. If you have an organization that have trained its members, you have an organization that have a network of offices across the 36 states, including federal capital, apart from the headquarters. Then you also have an organization that has its presence as of today in 93% of the total local government in Nigeria. Organizations that have desk office at the UN headquarters, organizations that have a desk office at the UN regional office in Switzerland, regional office in Austria. Then recently, African Union. It is on the basis of that relation the African Union recently appointed me as its head of Cluster Committee on Peace and Security. So anybody who is just thinking that it's just something that you need to start putting together, have to get offices, get uniform for them. I think the cheapest thing to do for now, we have government coming up even after before the rejection of the bill, withholding of assets. We have government came up with program to just give money to you that are not doing anything. Shopee, you have, you win. Under this administration, conditional cash transfer, so many social welfare programs that is aimed at bettering the lot of you that are doing nothing. In this case, you have a set of organized youth that are out to add value to the security of the country, ensure that our youth are not idle. For me, rationally, I'll pick the organized group of people instead of giving free handout in the form of money to people than to say it will be too expensive to accommodate the Nigerian Peace Corps.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Which bank?